All right, this is the first episode of Welcome to Turkville. My name's Johnny. This is Alex. Alex, kind of tell me a little bit about yourself. I know that I know about you, but some of our kinfolk may not.
Well, grew up right here in Sumter, so born and raised right here, didn't go anywhere else. Ended up basically going to Lakewood High School, so we didn't go to the same area usually as most of the other Turks, because most of them are usually in the Dazelle area, but we grew up on the other side of town.
That's where Hillcrest, man.
Yeah, and so we ended up going to high school over at Lakewood, and then ended up doing college, going that route, but we were first gen, and so, you know, the first in our family on our side to go, and so ended up bouncing around from Central Carolina to Horry, Georgetown, then finishing off and got my associates here at USC Sumter, got my bachelor's at USC Upstate, got my master's at USC Aiken, and now I'm doing a doctoral program at Liberty University. And so trying to finish that up, but just grateful and thankful and blessed to be able to do all that.
I was similar to you, to where first gen, kind of out of college. I did a Fruitland Baptist College, as you knew.
I mean, there's a couple, but
one that you could tell.
I'm trying to think. Well, I could say there was somebody in particular. I ain't gonna say who it was, but either way, it was one evening, and you know, they always like being prepared if anybody was gonna be coming over or anything like that.
Oh yeah.
You know, had to straighten up and all that, even though nothing was really needing straighten up.
And their houses, no, man. Nothing had to be straightened up at that time.
And so, but there was one particular day somebody had just pulled up, and I go up there, and Papa was like, "Son, who's that out there just pulled up at there in the yard?" And I looked, and I said, "It's so-and-so." And Papa said a cuss word, and then Grandma said, "Who's that out there?" And Papa said who it was, and she did the same exact thing and cussed. And, you know, that's the kitchen words, as they call it.
The kitchen words.
Kitchen words. And it was funny because they was complaining the whole time. You know, just doing stuff like that. But then soon as they walked in, "Man, y'all come on in the house now. Y'all sit down," you know.
But yes,
but yeah,
that
the
is hilarious.
The kitchen words is what they call it.
I will say that Grandma, one of the main things that I think that was just hilarious of her, was something that you were a part of. And it may sound crazy, but man, every time I could think about it, anytime that one person showed up on the television, one person, Victor Newman, she would always start chewing him out. "That's scoundrel! That's scoundrel!" And man, it was notorious. Right after, Price is Right. Of course, the news came on, and then right after the news, you hear that
piano playing.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yep.
Good evening, Cuz.
Cuz, how you doing?
Doing all right. Welcome to Turkville, sir.
Well, thank you, sir. Glad to be here.
So just tell me a little bit more about yourself, if you don't mind.
A little bit more about myself. My daddy was Lawrence Benenhaley, and Mom, Mary Benenhaley. 51 years old. Work at the South Carolina Department of Transportation. Been here 23 years. 23 years, yeah. 5 more years and I can retire.
Ooh. You ready?
I'll probably have to go a little longer. I'm getting old, Johnny.
No.
But just been here all my life in Sumter, except when I was away at college.
Tell me about college, if you don't mind me asking, too. I know that you went to the great land of the orange and...
God's country. Go ahead and say it, God's country.
No, now.
Yeah, went to Clemson from 1994 to 96, graduated in 96. Stephen Sanderson and myself went up there.
Were y'all roommates at all?
We were roommates.
Lord.
Yes,
How?
we were roommates.
How did y'all not kill each other?
I
know y'all loved each other. I know that, and y'all still do.
Still do, yeah. I guess we did. if I'm getting ready to do something, Stephen pretty well knew what I was gonna do, and same thing. We could just kind of feed off of each other. So, you know, Stephen and I were, golly, we were roommates in the cribs at church. So, I mean, that's how long he and I have been friends and been together. But yeah, we went up there and had a good time up there.
So tell me a little bit about you. You mentioned your daddy.
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted to know kind of more about your dad. I knew him later on, of course, because I was young. But man, that side of the family, there's so much more, and I don't know what it is. And I was talked about that with Al, and I talked about that with so many others. So,
When I was 4 months old, Daddy had a stroke. So I never really knew Daddy when he was really, healthy. He had a stroke when I was 4 months old, and you know, he was out of work for about a year, from what I understand. Of course, I can't remember it. For about a year, and then I think it was 1980. He had to retire medically. He worked at the carpenter shop on the base, and he had a window pane fall on his arm, and it cut some of the ligaments in his arm. If you remember, he had, you know, his hand was kind of curled. That's why it was curled.
Okay.
He had that hit and it messed up some of the tendons there. But but if you shook his hand, he could give a good grip on it. So, he was pretty tough. But I remember Daddy as just being, Daddy was very tough. You know, Daddy didn't complain about a whole lot as far as health wise. And you know yourself, particularly in his latter years, he went through a lot of health problems. And but I never did hear him complain too much about his health. Only thing I would hear him complain about is if he got a corn under the bottom of his toe. And I'm like, Daddy, wait a minute now.
Grandma would do the same.
Yeah, so wait a minute. I said, now, all the stuff you done had go wrong with you, and you're complaining about a corn under the bottom of your toe. So Daddy was a trip, but he was tough. But Daddy was certainly a godly man. He loved the Lord. Now in his younger days, just before I was even born, Daddy was quite the wild child, so to speak.
Yeah.
So
he was the wild child of the four.
Of those four, of course, they had a younger brother, Roland.
Yes.
And and he was kind of a wild child too. And but thank goodness, don't want to forget about Roland.
And that's forgive me. I said, I didn't get a lot of those times with Roland, and I wish I had.
Yeah.
And like you spoke of earlier, whenever we were talking, with him passing in '96, I wish I had. I mean, I was maybe 9, so I mean, it wasn't like I didn't have the time and I shouldn't have had the time.
Yeah.
It's just I really don't remember a lot of time that I spent with Roland.
Yeah. Well, and certainly in his younger days too, he drank a lot of alcohol, and he was alcohol for the longest time. But once he got off the alcohol, he was just as good a man as you wanted to see, and really down to earth, really a jokester. He was one that could make you laugh like
he could hold against their own. Huh?
He could do it. He could definitely do it, and. But I think Roland was one that he eventually got saved, but he got saved later in life.
Been a long time. Long time. This was home. This is where it began for me. Right here's where Grandpa Murray sat. Right here's where my old papa sat. James Isaac Benenhaley.
Welcome to Turkville, sir.
Well, thank you, sir. It's a pleasure to be here. It's good to be back at my home church.
So Long Branch Baptist Church.
It's where I grew up till I was 12
Okay.
and had to move away, but this is home to me.
So I know a few people might not know who you are, and that's my generation on down.
Yeah, probably so.
So please tell me, I know who you are, because Lord, I love you. You know I do.
Yes, sir.
Tell the viewers who you are.
I'm Al Cotter. I'm living in North Carolina, but I lived here. I was raised by Isaac Benenhaley.
Okay. So you were raised by Isaac.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit more about how that happened, if you don't mind me asking.
Well, had a kind of a not so good home life, and we lived way back up in there, what they call the 5,000 area. We were one of the first families that moved back there.
Okay.
And that is actually on the original 33 acres of Joseph Benenhaley. And this has been over 50 years, so.
So did y'all have Suicide Hill back then too?
Yes, sir.
Y'all
Sure
did.
did.
Did you ride the bikes?
It wasn't paved.
So you hurt yourself pretty bad.
Yes, I did. It was mud back then. Grandpa Murray said that was part of Long Branch that went down through there.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
But my people were not churchgoers.
Okay.
And at 7 and 8, I wanted to go to church. And so up here several times. As a little child. From way back, it was a mile back in there.
Okay.
And he got to noticing, I think, and started carrying me home and then picking me up and bringing me back. And so it went from there, and then he'd bring me on the weekends to hunt and fish and do whatever. And because he knew things at my home were not good, I just started staying there and going to school.
So where did y'all hunt, if you want to ask?
Eastover Hunting Club.
So y'all used to hunt over at
Yep.
Eastover as well. So
Eastover.
it was even back then.
Yes, sir. Hunt down in the swamp.
So all I knew was at Eastover was the 90s, because that was more my era of growing up. And Papa and Isaac actually gave me my first gun.
Yeah.
He did.
Yep.
So
Good deal.